Welcome to What the Tech, where we cut through the hype to bring you news you can use. So today, we're talking about a piece of tech that's been hailed as, the future of driving. But as a pretty terrifying new video shows, sometimes that future can literally go right off the rails.
Okay, let's just dive right in. There's this video making the rounds online, and it is something else. It shows a Tesla in what they call full self-driving mode doing something you'd think is impossible. It just plows straight through a lowered railroad crossing barrier. And yeah, you better believe it's raising some major questions about just how safe this tech really is.
And this was the driver's reaction right after it all went down. Tesla FSD almost killed me today. Just wow. You can feel the shock, right? I mean, the one piece of tech you're trusting to keep you safe is the very thing that puts you in a situation like this. It's just unbelievable.
So what exactly happened here? Let's break down the dashcam footage. Okay, so we've got a Tesla Model 3. It's in West Covina, California, cruising along at about 23 miles an hour. And here's the kicker. Full self-driving is on. The car comes up to this railroad crossing. The barriers are down, clear as day, right? But the car, it just keeps going, smashes right through them. The driver slams on the brakes, but it's at the very moment of impact. Way, way too late. Okay, but here's where this whole thing gets really alarming. You might think, okay, maybe it was a one-off glitch, a freak accident. But nope. It turns out this is not an isolated incident, not by a long shot. Get a load of this number, 40 plus. That's how many similar incidents people have reported online, just with FSD at railroad crossings. So yeah, this isn't just one person having a really bad day. This points to a pattern, right? A serious blind spot in the system software. And the timing of all this? Oh, it couldn't be more dramatic. Check this out. The feds, specifically the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, they were already investigating FSD for stuff like this, including failures at railroad crossings. And then this video drops on March 9th. And guess what else happened on March 9th? That was the exact day Tesla had to hand over all its crash data to those very same investigators. I mean, you can't write this stuff. The pressure is definitely building. So this all leads to the big question, the one we all have. Why does this keep happening? I mean, how can a system that's supposed to be so smart, so advanced, fail at something so obvious? It's a giant barrier. What's going on here? Well, it really boils down to this one absolutely crucial detail. Despite that very confident name, full self-driving, it's officially just a level 2 driver assist system. And that distinction is everything. It means the car is not, I repeat, not driving itself. The person in the driver's seat is still 100% responsible, legally and technically. You have to be ready to grab that wheel at any second. And right there, you see the problem. There's this massive, dangerous gap between what people think they're buying and what the system can actually do. The marketing, the name itself, it all screams this car drives itself. People are paying up to 15 grand for this promise. But the reality? The reality is it's just a helper that still needs you to watch it like a hawk. And, as we've just seen, it's a helper that can completely miss a giant red and white barrier. So what's the root cause, technically speaking? It looks like a massive perception failure. I mean, a railroad gate isn't some weird, once-in-a-lifetime edge case. It's a big, obvious, totally predictable obstacle. The fact that the car's cameras and software just don't see it, that points to a pretty fundamental flaw in how the system was trained. Breaking this stuff down is exactly why we do what we do here. And hey, if you're getting something out of this, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to What the Tech, and let us know what you think in the comments. All right, so with all these risks out in the open, what can you actually do to stay safe if you're using a system like FSD? This is the part that's truly news you can use. We've got 4 steps for you. Number 1, supervise. Always. Seriously, think of it as a really fancy cruise control, not your own personal driver. Hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Number 2, disengage at crossings. Don't wait for the car to mess up. As you get near a railroad crossing, just take over completely. Be proactive. 3, record and report. If something goes wrong, save that footage and report it to the feds, to NHTSA. That data is gold for finding these patterns. And finally, number 4, be cautious with updates. Just because there's a new software version, don't just assume it fixed everything. The main takeaway here is super simple. At the end of the day, you are the car's most important safety feature. So where do we go from here? What happens now?
Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture for Tesla, for the regulators, and for all of us.
Look, fixing this isn't just one person's job. It's got to be a team effort. The engineers, they need to improve how they train the system's brain and maybe add more sensors. Tesla as a company, they need to be way more transparent, give clearer warnings, and hand over data to regulators without delay. And the regulators themselves, they need to step up, demand that data, and actually enforce the rules, not just for safety, but for marketing too.
This whole incident has really thrown a spotlight on the problem, that's for sure. So here are the 3 big things you're going to want to watch for. First, what will NHTSA find in its investigation? Is this a systemic failure? Second, keep an eye out for Tesla's software updates. Will we see one that specifically says, hey, we fixed the railroad gate thing? And third, and this is the big one, will we see real regulatory action? We're talking recalls, new restrictions, maybe even rules about what you can call these systems. And that leaves us with one final, really important question to think about. When a system called full self-driving can't handle something as simple as a railroad crossing, is this fundamentally a software problem or is it a marketing problem? What's the real danger here? Is it the faulty code that missed the barrier? Or is it the name itself? A name that created a level of trust that the technology just hasn't earned yet. That's what we really need to figure out as this stuff becomes more and more a part of our world.